Today I'm going to unbox the HO Scale branch station, and I've got my little list of parts that is on the internet. There's a link to it. You can print it out. It'll help you go through the parts. In this episode, I'm also going to put together the jig for the roof. And so let's open the box and see what we have. The first thing, these are window shades, so I'm going to lay them aside. This is our LED that's good for up to 18 volts. So I'm going to lay that aside. We have our chimney. Again, we're not ready for that. This pack has our windows. Now these windows are different than most kits. And I want you to please watch the video that'll be coming up next about painting these and how you paint them, how you should. This is an old technique that I haven't seen really in modeling of model train buildings, but it's used a lot by craftspeople for jewelry, other things. So we'll talk about that in the next episode. We have our some of our ridge. These are our doors, and we have our gable end pieces that are sort of ornate, and we have our little braces for the roof. This is our basically odds and ends. It's a series of braces and jigs. I'm going to keep this here. These are our walls and the roof, which is scribed for shingles. We have a bag that's got nothing but trim. Now, if you want to take this stuff out and make sure you have everything, that's fine, but at this point, I'm not gonna. This contains a whole bunch of trim pieces of various types that go to this model, and we'll show you how you use them. And then finally, we have a little piece of wire in the box. I'm just gonna maybe even leave it in the box. This is for doorknobs. And for some reason, I like to put doorknobs on the doors. So we'll show you how to put doorknobs on your doors using that wire. Now I'm going to put most of the things back in the box at this point. Everything should be in these little bags except for the shades, the wire, and the LED. I'm going to put the LED back in. And I'm going to put the shades back in and close it up. Now, the first thing we're going to do is put together the roof jig. This isn't painted, and I want to give it plenty of time to dry so that we have a nice solid jig. Now this jig has 4 parts, and they're labeled T1. So we need to find the 4 parts that are labeled T1. There's those 2 parts, and then there's 2 sort of leg-like things, or base type things. There we go. There are the 4 T1 parts. Okay. Then I think I should have put I like to keep stuff in here so I don't lose it. Now when you're all done with your model, these little boxes, save them. They're great for putting little parts in. You can recycle that. That's why we chose that type of box for this model. All right. So the way these go together is we put them right on the edge, and we're going to stick that in the groove. So I'm just going to put it together sort of the way it goes, like this, okay? And then the other one will go underneath here. but we're going to glue it up, and we want to make sure that we have nice right angles. Now, there's various ways you can get this. I have my little cutter aluminum thing. I have a piece that I cut very nicely at right angle with my saw. You can use, this is an old square that I took apart. You can use something like this and so forth. So that's what I want to do. And I'm going to put this up there. And then see, I'm going to use, what shall I use? Maybe something like this to make sure that that's square. We'll put that underneath like that. We have a nice square, we'll have a nice square thing when I glue it up. Okay, so I'm gonna get my glue. Again, if you haven't watched, I'm using this original tacky glue. Works well for me. I've got my supply of toothpicks, which I always have. They're my favorite tool. And I don't know why, but I shake the glue. I don't think you need to. But I'm going to put a little glue in the, and we don't have to be worry about over spills or anything on this. This is all going to be thrown away when we're done. And it doesn't matter, they're symmetric, so it doesn't matter which way the T1 goes. That's plenty of glue. I'll put that up against there. I want to put this like this. We'll make it so that it butts right up against the end. There we go. Pull that out a little bit. I'll turn it around in a second. And there we go. I got plenty of glue, that's for sure. Now, put this around here. Push that in. Yeah, I got it butted. See, we want to make sure that the base is square here. There we go. Push down on that. Push down on that. There. Now I want to make sure that that's about square. Tilt that back a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just good that if it is square, then when you go to put your roof together, there we go. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to slide that off to the side now and just let it dry. I should have pointed out, and I'm going to point out right now with a picture, that there's a little knob in the end of this. And I don't have one here, but I'll insert a picture in the video, and I'll have a pointer to that little peak. The ends of the roof do not overlap. They butt up. So that peak needs to be on your jig, because that'll allow you to set up the gap perfectly. So please don't do any alterations and think that's something that shouldn't be there. It should be there.